Welcome to hell.
Hello and welcome to the Jersey Shore Musicians Podcast. I'm Matt. That's Jeff.
Hello.
He decided to show up again.
Yeah, 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Well, tonight we got the guys from Burnt Tavern.
Yeah, guys.
Thanks for coming in. How we doing tonight?
Great.
You don't seem too sure about that.
I'm totally sure.
No, we're doing exceptionally well. Thank you very much. It's cool being here. You guys have a hell of a facility. And by guys, I mean Jeff.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I'll take credit for it.
Yeah, no. I retract my dual praise. Only Jeff gets lauded. Facility is put together.
That's why you have me here.
I don't like you anymore.
Don't care.
Krieger, how you doing? You didn't answer the question.
I'm great. I didn't mean for that to sound as sarcastic as it did.
I'm convinced.
I'm just doing great is all.
Awesome. We're off to a stupendous start.
Perfect.
Fantastic.
All right, so let's talk about you guys.
Okay.
How did you guys form as a band?
Mark.
I've had this project in mind for well over 10 years or so, but didn't have the need, I guess you could say. Got a lot of plates spinning, and for me to prioritize this means a lot of other things that are in my front seat should have been pushed to the back burner, so I can't really do that. But there's a show coming up that provided an opportunity to actually put this together for real. And I mean, frankly, also, this is something that we should all have in our lives. We should have music. We should have creative output in our lives as human beings. And for us to be sitting around, every guy in this band is super talented. It's incredible, honestly. One of the motivating factors for me also specifically to bring these guys in is I'm a fan. I'm a fan of everything they do. Krieger's got a project. Verge has a project. I know Tom. Well, I kind of know Tom my whole life. Tom's right over there. But
Hey, Tom.
The man hiding in the back.
But also this project is I don't want to say it's necessary, but I guess that touches on what I mentioned before about creative output being it's what humanity did as soon as we learned to survive. We learned to live. We were in caves. The first thing we did was start drawing on the walls to create art. And if people that I know are incredible artists that aren't making art, that's just a tragedy as far as I'm concerned.
I know a couple people like that.
You do?
Yeah.
Let's name some names.
Nah, we can't name names anymore.
Let's tell some stories then.
Throw very specific people under the bus.
You keep watching each week, you'll hear story after story. Some good ones, some bad ones. But, all right, so you guys got together because of a show. Now, the first time you were in the room, did you all just, like, gel together and you were like, all right, like, we're going to be able to make a vision come to reality?
I brought everybody in one by one.
Okay.
Everybody needed to be on the same page. One of the most important things I took away from... Do you know who Sidney Lumet is? He's a director. He directed 12 Angry Men, The Verdict. He did Dog Day Afternoon. But he's a director, and in his book, Making Movies, he has one stipulation for his crews. Everyone needs to be making the same movie. And it was important that everyone in this band is writing the same music, that is contributing the same thing. And so first I brought in Verge, because, again, I'm a fan, and he's currently playing in one of our other projects, so I didn't have any problem. And I know his musical sensibilities. I know his tastes. All of us are heavily into video game music and film scores. Like, you could talk about it later, but one of Verge's dreams is to one day score a video game.
100%.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And
you don't
then-
hear that every day.
Yeah, thanks.
That's cool.
You don't have much competition.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to say.
You're a shoo-in, kid. Don't worry.
Believe me, I've tried.
It's different, and different's not a bad thing.
Different is necessary. Different.
Exactly.
No, the last thing anybody wants to be is normal. The last thing anyone wants to be is run-of-the-mill, conventional. You bring nothing to the table. You offer nothing. I understand the use of drones. Hive wouldn't survive without it, but it also needs its... Am I the queen?
I think you should say exactly that.
I think I did. That's not the best thing.
Set yourself up for that one.
I did. And then Krieger, I've known Krieger for many years now. Weird, right?
9.
I think so.
Long time.
And I know Krieger is a multifaceted musician. He's a bass player, he's a guitarist. He does a lot of stuff, and he records a lot of stuff, and I'm a fan of it. And I knew bringing him in would just add to it. But I think the most motivating factor for me bringing everybody in together was that they have a good energy, that they have a good vibe. Because you can bring in, I'd much rather have a cool person who doesn't know how to play their instrument than an expert prick. That's going to fall apart. You can learn your instrument. You can't unfuck a cunt.
Well, there's a good one for you.
Actually, that was really good. Thanks. And you're right. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at
Definitely
all.
not wrong.
No, you're in a relationship with a bunch of other people, and you need to make sure you have chemistry. You need to make sure that everyone has a good vibe. There's a lot of other people that wanted to be a part of this project, but I just know they wouldn't really gel.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's crucial. It's crucial to the survival of the project. It's crucial for morale. You want to spend
I
time
remember,
with these guys.
I remember back in the day, I think it was Rock Band, the video game. It had like those little quotes in the beginning, and it always stuck in my head. It said something along the lines of like, being in a band is like having a bunch of girlfriends that you get to choose.
Precisely.
Kind of in a way. So, like, the way I think of, just to add on that, the way I think of that is like skill can always be improved. And it's just, like Mark said, everyone has to be making the same production.
Well, yeah, everybody's got to be moving in the same direction.
Yeah, and yeah, like having someone there who's not doing that pulls the whole project down.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Totally. And yeah, this totally came together totally organically, like you're saying.
Yeah.
So it was great.
You know what? When it happens like that, though, I think that's
Yeah.
like the best thing because you get the purest tone, the purest example of what you can do. You know, so that's a really cool thing.
It's necessary is what it is, because I mean, we've had, like you just said, things just happen, things just gel. But when you provide for yourself the necessary ingredients, the finished dish is going to taste fantastic regardless. It's hard to fuck up at this point.
Yeah.
Tom and Brandon on djembe were brought in kind of recently-ish. I've got people in mind, and there's a couple other people. We've got some auxiliaries playing ocarina, tank drum, singing bowls that aren't here because we didn't want to overwhelm you guys.
Thank you.
Welcome. Very welcome. Am I close enough to the mic?
Yeah, you're totally
All
fine.
right, sweet. But Tom sat in on rehearsal recently, and he heard something that he, I think, thought was close to a finished song. It was our first time playing it. And he's like, don't you love when that happens in the room? Someone commented, like, that's great when that happens.
That's a great feeling.
Yeah.
He said that's
Yeah.
a great feeling.
That's a great feeling.
Yeah.
Because of the way this has been built up foundationally by design, that happens a lot.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It happens a lot when we just jam on stuff. Things gel in a way that makes things easier. It keeps morale high. It keeps what's the word I'm thinking of?
Momentum.
Momentum is one of them.
Well, one of the big things is you got to keep it fun too.
Yeah, keep the creative process rolling.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And our stuff is simple. Our stuff is so easy.
Yeah.
Again, by design. I don't want to work too hard. We all work hard in other parts of our lives. There's
Yeah.
True.
one of our riffs in that song, The Storm Rises, I need to show you, Tom. You play it with one finger. You play the entirety of the song for one finger.
I can use one finger.
Anyone you want. Take your favorite finger.
Okay, so it seems like you guys are all kind of writing together in the same room type thing. Now, how's that translate into a studio? So, like, you guys have an EP or
Nothing
single?
yet.
Nothing yet.
What
So-
we have is 3 songs that we performed on this podcast.
Okay.
And, yeah, you just recorded what we have.
Okay, so
No, I'm
if you
talking
were
about
going
you.
to go into a studio, what would be your process then? Would it be like, hey man, everybody in the room, let's get mics, let's try to capture a live thing? Or do you want it to be over processed, mics on each thing and punching in, punching out?
I want live studio, organic, everything done at the same time with everyone in the room. Imperfections, mistakes. I want to hear souls. These instruments have their own soul to them. I mean, Jesus Christ, me and Brandon's instruments are made with animal parts, you know. And that's key. That's key. If you need to multi-track, then just get better. You know, get better at your instrument.
See, I feel like a lot, like you said, imperfections, which is one of the things that when I record bands, like if they're like, oh, I didn't nail it right, it still sounded good because imperfections make a song breathe.
Is right best.
No.
Not all the time.
No.
In
Think
fact-
of all the bands that maybe we all grew up with, like Zeppelin, or, go listen to those records. I mean, there's a song where there's a telephone ringing in the background.
And
an
they speed up a
airplane's
lot and
went
slow
over.
down.
Yeah,
And,
they're not going to click tracks and stuff like that. So I mean, and that's just one band. There's millions before them. Sometimes I feel I've seen bands where it's just like, wow, man, they're so tight. Like listening to them, and then I go see their show, and I'm like, huh.
Yeah.
Somebody used Pro Tools. So, but not that that's bad or whatever, because I don't want to take anything away from a band. But the soul of the band, like you would say, it's got to live, it's got to breathe, it's got to fall, it's got to get back up. So I kind of respect what you're saying as far as like, the whole, I don't want to say spiritual, but like the spiritual of music, which is really cool and refreshing.
It's tricky in some. It's actually necessary in some cases, right? You know what? Before I continue that thought, I just want to say that bands that do have the multi-track and are tight as shit and use Pro Tools and triggers, it's not like they're not awesome. The whole Swedish Gothenburg scene is tight as a fucking drum, and that's just sick music. But time and a place for everything.
Yeah.
But with us, it's especially tricky because some songs, frankly, don't have arrangements. We'll just conduct them live. Like I'll just keep playing a part. One person will have a cue. When you hear this guy do his thing, then you do your thing. And that guy can just do his thing for 3 minutes.
Okay.
And then we'll just zone out. We cover Pictures of You by The Cure.
Okay.
And it's about 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when we played it the first time, you thought it was literally 3 minutes. That's how vibed you were.
I was so out of it and just vibing and just going with it. And literally at least 14 minutes passed. I think it was 14 the first time. And then we went to the next part.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You always hear the other way around where it's like, oh man, the song was like 2.5 minutes long, but like shit, it felt like forever.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool too.
Yeah, you just kind of lose it,
That's the fun stuff, though, man.
Yeah,
I
it
love
is.
listening to stuff in the background. And it's weird. You wouldn't want to, hold a sign proudly that says we're background music, but I like that.
Music's supposed to transport you somewhere.
Yeah.
It's supposed to take you somewhere and give you that vision and
Imagery.
Yeah.
Imagery is clutch with us.
Mm-hmm.
Some stuff is straight up cinematic by design, too. Like all of us, we're huge fans of film scores, video game scores. At this point, it's kind of our biggest influences.
I heard a lot of Star Wars references, and that's probably one of the best film scores, in a
John
movie.
Williams stuff. In fact, we have one song in the works that's called "It's a Trap." It's a trap. Because I didn't realize this until after the fact, but the song builds up with this thing that sounds exactly like the "It's a Trap" cue from Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
Dun dun da 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 dun 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 da dun da dun da dun. Oh, and then it just builds and builds and builds, and then it
Okay.
cuts to Lando, and then just everybody gets pregnant.
And then
We're going to have huge copyright problems now because you hummed the John Williams score.
Oh crap! Yeah, just
Don't
yeah.
worry, we're going to just be like, no, that never happened. Don't worry.
That wasn't part of
You don't need any more money. Stop. But yeah, I was going to say, you're definitely a Star Wars fan because we were talking. I heard you Lando this and Calrissian that. I'm like, wow, man.
That's the name of my mandolin, Mando Calrissian.
That's awesome.
It's the name of
That
my
is awesome.
tambourine, Tambo Calrissian. And then once we get big enough, I'm going to purchase myself a Lamborghini and I'll have Lambo Calrissian.
Ah, there you go. Is it going to be purple or yellow?
It's going to have powder blue on the outside, but yellow interior, like his
Okay.
cape.
Okay.
From
Purple. Well, that's why I asked. I know it's like,
just
yeah.
for the joke.
And the first thing I'm going to do is get pulled over for a DUI because I'm drinking a Colt 45.
Lando.
there it is.
So, is there plans for you guys to put something out, even if it's on Spotify, YouTube, or is it
Eventually-
going to be like don't take offense, but it's very like the Dead. The Dead would go out and play shows and let people record them and be like, well, there you go. That's our record.
I was always curious as to how bands could do something like that. Like Dave Matthews Band, they record every concert and just put it online. But having now been a part of this project, fuck it. It's fine.
Well, when you're Dave Matthews, you're not worried about selling records and making money.
Yeah, this is also true.
You're
This is
past
also
that
true.
part.
No, ultimately, there's going to be 3 avenues as far as I know so far: Spotify, Bandcamp, and YouTube.
Okay.
Spotify is just going to be the streaming service that everybody uses. Bandcamp, because in this day and age, I feel like there's almost like a piracy backlash where people like something and you'll see comments like, how do I pay you for this? How do I give you money? Like, I support what you do. I believe in what you do. Let me give you some money. You know?
I haven't seen something like that, but that's kind of cool. Maybe the tides are turning.
Exactly.
And Bandcamp's cool too because like I think it's normally like once every couple months they'll do like one day where they don't take their shares of the music that were sold on that day.
Yeah, I saw something like that recently.
They do
exactly.
it. They did it all throughout COVID.
And then we have a lot of covers that we do, but you can't put them on Spotify. You can't put them on Bandcamp.
No.
So all of the covers I want to put on a YouTube page.
Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah. They'll get demonetized. Maybe not if you play them different enough, they won't get demonetized.
Oh, I don't care about the money. I just want people to hear them.
Yeah. No, but they started cracking down on that though too. I thought.
Yeah,
I
because I know
somebody else
one of our
said
first
that.
videos.
Really?
Yeah, it's like almost like you.
Almost like humming the Lando Calrissian
Yeah.
dildo.
We're so getting sued.
Say
No.
up or dildo.
Both.
Dildo.
It's like one of those things, Laurel or Yanny. Remember that?
What was it? Scars That Bind came in here and they played a cover tune, and it's acoustic. It's different than the actual song, and like YouTube flagged it within like 3 seconds.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of covers I listen to on YouTube. There's tons of covers I listen to on
They
YouTube.
probably get flagged too.
Well,
probably
I
just
mean, you can still
demonetized.
it still posts, but it has like it's got copyright tags all over
Oh,
it.
that's
Yeah.
fine. I don't
Yeah, you ever
If you don't
see
get
the
strikes,
people
you
are
get
like, I
claims.
didn't write this song or blah 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 in the beginning. I think like that's one of the prerequisites now and stuff.
Sure.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
wow.
Yeah,
And
you
that's
gotta- You gotta
fine.
put it
It's
in
fair.
the bio that you don't own the rights to the
Yeah.
song and this and that and all that.
It started
Wow.
with we
It's a
wrote
process.
this song. We wrote the lyrics. Fuck Tom Waits. Oh, I don't like that I said that out loud. He's on his way here right now.
Oh, shit. Great. We're all gonna get killed.
Best way to go. By the hands of Tom Waits.
Oh man. So how many shows have you guys done so far?
In this day and age, how many shows have any bands done so
geez.
far?
Well, let's
That's-
say,
yeah,
when
very
was the
true.
band formed? Like what year was the band formed at?
Officially, I guess would be 2020.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Officially with 20. What year is it? What month is it?
We actually did start getting together in 2019. Me and you
2019.
started getting together, but 2020 was the first time everyone kind of got together. And then our first performances out. First one out was, I think, the Halloween thing.
Yeah.
At, what was that? What was the
Donovan's.
place?
Donovan's on Manchester on Route 70.
Okay.
Good place. Raven from Scars That Bind and Pat also put it together. It was cool. It was very cool. We covered a bunch of Halloween songs. Covered Pet Sematary by the Ramones.
Nice.
A nice ballad with a female singer and a vocal harmony. Came out
Very
really
cool.
nice. Came out nice. In fact, next Halloween coming up, I want to do a cover of Saturday Night by the Misfits.
Yes.
But I want to do a full-on jukebox oldies version.
I really want that version done.
I want it to be the main inspiration for that. FYI, before we go into it, is Earth Angel by the Penguins.
Okay,
So
I love that song. That's a great
Do
song.
do 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 wow do do do, and then it starts singing about killing people.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually kind
Good tune.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah!
So what do you
Right?
what do you think it would be so that you guys do have one under your belt before their COVID?
We had the live stream.
There was a live stream.
Okay.
I think that was during. No, wait.
was the COVID Christmas.
The Halloween show was also COVID.
Yeah, Halloween
Yeah,
show
it
was
was.
COVID. Yeah, we had no shows before the COVID stuff happened.
Oh,
And then
okay.
it was that, and then a live stream.
But like, it's okay though, and especially in a COVID world, because like you can distance from us. We don't need. The policy in this project is you need to be able to strap every instrument to your body and walk around with it, and it requires no electricity. Obviously, in Verge's case, he plays piano. We have an upright piano at the house where we rehearse. Today, he had to bring his board.
Yeah.
But someone just keeps mentioning it to him over and over that he needs to find something portable so they could bring with him and walk around with.
I'm crafty, so I'm gonna hook up a DeWalt battery, and that's gonna be that.
But COVID honestly for this product doesn't matter.
Well, I was
We
going
can
to
just
say
go out and play.
I was going to go into when you guys go back. If you guys go out and play, what would be the vibe? Considering well, how was the live stream? How did that go? Like, how was the I don't want to say the numbers, but how are like the views or numbers
Response
of it?
to it.
It was good. It was pretty up there. I think it was how many people? It was
I
north
say-
of 500, right?
Oh no, north of 1,000.
North of 1,000.
Nice.
In the
Wow.
end for views, I'm not sure about consistent people, but in the end for views, it was more than that.
I think at one time, I think it was. I remember hearing it was north of 500.
Oh, like live.
Yeah,
Gotcha,
like
gotcha,
at the
gotcha.
one time.
Okay.
But yeah, that went really well.
That was fun. It was a Christmas thing. In fact, we covered 3 Christmas songs. We covered
It's right up your
Coventry
alley.
I
Carol.
know, right?
I'm sorry.
He's got a Christmas band.
Yeah, I do a Christmas
No
thing
shit.
myself. Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta send you something.
We gotta
Oh,
do a
definitely.
Christmas show.
Yes.
Why not?
We cover. There's a couple medieval Christmas songs that are about killing kids. Not that I don't have anything on killing kids. But, I mean, don't blame me. That's what they wrote back
Here
then.
comes Santa Claus.
Songs were.
One of the songs was Coventry Carol.
Okay.
It's like from the 1600s. We cover that song. You've heard it. I think Stevie Nicks might have covered it. We did Gabriel's Message, which is another Christmas song. Sting covered it for a very special Christmas. It's the one that sounds kind of electronic and there's like 10 stings coming at you. We covered that song. And then we covered Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer.
Oh, you can't go wrong with that song.
No, you cannot. That's how much we hate grandmas.
Oh. So all the grandmas, we're sorry. We're sorry. So, okay, this brings up a question then that I have for you guys. And it's like, all right, well, if you guys did that good on a live stream, do you need to play shows live?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Vibe.
Connection.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's nothing like being there with people live.
Yeah, you feed off the people. Yeah.
I think
You feed off in a live aspect, but I'm going to just say as a whole unit, try to do something. Where's the reach better? Would it be on the computer or would it be at a show?
I think a lot of this relies on live, and this is kind of a strange word to use, but live intimacy gets lost digitally.
Oh, well, yeah,
Well,
obviously, yeah.
And that would really play into this, because even something is like wanting to record a live recording that's intimate. You know, Mark said he wants to hear souls. That by itself is an intimate concept. Things like that would be lost digitally totally. So it's to our benefit, I think, to play live, even in pieces. Like Mark said, this is constructed in such a way where you're carrying your instruments. Anything can be transposed between guitar, mandolin, anything you have on your body. So if someone can't make it, the idea is, well, you can fill it in. You can just kind of paint by number and make it happen. And that's really what is at an advantage here.
Okay, so the plan is to, all right, let's get out there, let's start showing everybody, bringing them into our circle, bring them into our family, because that's what you're doing.
Yeah,
you're not so much being like, here's our product. You're like, come be with us, which is cool.
Yeah.
You know, that's a different way than what most people try to do now.
For example, you mentioned the show. We were talking about the Halloween show with Donovan's. So it was an acoustic show. And when most people who are used to playing rock music, metal music, they think acoustic and they're like, I'm just going to sit down on a stool and I'm going to strum along some cowboy chords. So they had stools set up and they had a PA set up and mic set up, and they were in the dark next to this tented pavilion area with some Edison lights hung up. It was really nice. It was super warm and everybody was sitting underneath of that and the bands were set up outside of it. I'm like, fuck the mics. Fuck the PA. So we just walked right in front of people under the pavilion and just played to the open air. That's how it should be.
And how was the response to that? Like, that had to be like, oh shit, well, that's awesome. Or you're like, oh my God, that's crazy, you know, like something.
That's both reactions. It started with, what the fuck is this? Oh my God.
Who are these crazy people?
Yeah, exactly. Like, we opened up with me, solo, guitar, and vocal, covering like a acoustic cover of Skulls by the Misfits. Okay. It was like a ballad, so like we didn't announce anything. We just walked out literally in people's faces and started singing.
That must have been something. That must have, just to even see somebody's face being like,
Is this happening?
yeah. It's like, that's the shit you see at like a fancy restaurant, like violins and stuff coming over with like the date night, you know? Like,
Yes. And that's what we're going for. Just to get out and play. Set up on a corner. Sit in Columbus Circle. See who shows up. See who stands. See who stays and listens. See who leaves. Give you the freedom to do something like that. No, the world needs more art. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that.
It should be the title of this one.
What?
World Needs More Art, episode 10.
There you go. I'll even write it down. That's
I
pretty
like
good.
that. I like that. Good job.
Cheers.
Thank you.
It's not as good as Can't Unfuck a Cunt, but
That's true. It's also true, too. Yeah, it's got a point. That one is better, but we can't use that.
make like a song title with the next one in parentheses, like Sanitarium, Welcome Home. The world needs more art. You can't unfuck a cunt.
Yeah, it's not very marketable.
It depends on the market, man.
You can sell anything.
In
Just find a way.
today's world, it just don't fly.
Something for everybody.
Maybe 10 years ago, but definitely not today.
Oh, it's gonna circle back around. Pendulum swings.
That is true. That is so true.
Yeah, back then.
Everything
Yeah,
is
we had a lot of stuff back then.
Just ride that ride that pendulum back. Ride the pendulum back into country.
That's good.
That's good. That's good. All right, here's my favorite segment here. I want to know your best and worst show. You know, and it doesn't have to be with this band. It could be because you're all in bands separately. I mean, right down to like car breaking down, somebody stole some shit, or like, you know, you fell off a stage, some crazy girl like threw something at you, something good. But then I also want to know the ones where like, this was a great show because
I don't know.
it was a
You
great
can tell
night.
that.
You know,
You can cover
Yeah.
my story, but if you tell that,
I'll let you guys discuss it for a minute first, and then you can go
want
one
to,
by
you
one.
can. I just
One
think
by
we
one.
should be as general about it as possible, and you cover my story. If you, that's mine.
There's no discussion to be had.
So we each get
Understood.
a best and a worst.
Tom was there too, so that works.
You're just looking for an out. You don't want to tell the story.
No, I refuse.
Krieger's worst show story is, it's top 10 of all time.
Is it the same as your worst shows?
I don't have a worst. All the worsts are best. When I cut my nose off, that counts as best. That's fucking great.
What? Never mind. Maybe you should tell that one.
Get back to that later.
I want to.
should
I
we
want to
start
hear
with
about
yours or close
you
with
having
yours?
cut your nose off.
Let's start with yours.
Okay.
I'm pretty
Do you want to
blessed
tell it for me?
this.
No, I don't want to tell it for you. I want you to tell it. And I don't mention any names, but please, for the love of God, tell
I
it.
can't be general about that.
You just think about the important details. The important details are close proximity, open casket, and
What the
Whoa.
So
Okay, this might be one of the best ones yet.
we played a funeral, and it was mostly Mark. It wasn't really that I was necessarily supposed to be there. It's just that he kind of was starting the acoustic project and pulled me in to support him on bass, just so that he'd have a more filled out sound and I guess so that it would be more of an official sort of a thing. I think it was, you were trying to be as respectful about it as possible, but the show was at a funeral for a fan of his who was not a fan of mine. But people, I guess, aren't too familiar with another bass player of his, and kept coming up to me and thanking me for like stuff that a band had done that I'm not in. And it was deeply uncomfortable. There was a dead guy. and I had a bad time.
I had a bad time.
I don't want to play funerals anymore.
if the family sees this, if any members of the family see this, we're deriving joy, but it's so past the point. You got to laugh at some point. We were crying too. This is not meant to be disrespectful. That doesn't mean it's not disrespectful, but it's not meant to be disrespectful. That being said, let's keep laughing. Keep laughing about the...
There's nothing to joke about, Mark.
It's not funny.
Not anymore.
It's not funny. It's so
Wow.
not, it's so not funny.
It doesn't feel funny now.
Wow.
Okay.
All right, beat that.
Yeah, that's
can't.
gonna be a tough one.
We should have
That's-
finished with that.
I should have said that last, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
That was
wow.
my first performance with Mark too, which is like my highest by far like highest
You set
profile
the-
musician
you set
that
the bar right off
I've
the
ever
bat.
played with.
All right.
And that was like me and my friends at Lefty's Tavern and shit, and then cut to me at a funeral with Mark Ward from Divinity Destroyed.
Figure
great.
start you with the worst possible experience, so it's only up from there.
Oh, that's true. That's one way to look at it.
I hugged a lot of family members that day.
You're like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they were like, "Thank you so much for the music that you've made throughout the years." I was like, "You're welcome."
Did you sign any autograph? Did you sign any funeral cards?
No, I didn't sign any autographs. I should have done it as Jim.
Oh my god.
All right, Verge, take it.
You're next.
Your reactions.
Yeah, go ahead.
Don't even
Follow-
tell your story. Just
follow
react
that
to
one.
this. Please react to this.
React to this?
Yes, go.
That's horrible. That's
Thank
one
you.
of the worst things I've ever heard.
I appreciate that you're. Thank you.
It's not funny. It's
Thank you. I feel validated.
you're so valid. Do you need to talk about this?
I just did.
Like, I never heard about this ever. Not even once. Not even one time.
There's probably a reason for that.
This is terrible.
Can't say that anymore.
I can't believe you haven't heard about
How
that.
long? Like, was it like 10 minutes, 20 minutes? Or was this like you guys did a classical,
No, it
like
was like-
Pachelbel's Canon on repeat for
It was like 15 minutes, right?
We played one song.
Was it really?
Yes,
It
just
felt like
He's like, it felt like an
it felt like
eternity.
about 15 minutes. It was probably only like a 4-minute song.
about that.
And it felt like
I'm
about-
surprised it only felt for you for 15 minutes.
It might have been longer.
Keep going first,
I'm
please.
sorry that happened to you, man.
Thank you.
Wow.
It just got real
I
in
don't know what
here.
to say.
It was a
Moving-
horrible experience.
Did you need like recuperation time, or like did you ever? Is this your confession? Like, hey, by the way, I'm not Jim.
I'm quitting the band. This is why.
Would it help if we played a live birth
Yes.
to cancel things out?
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you prefer? Hospital, midwife, bathtub,
Oh
No,
my
back
God.
seat of a Chevy?
None of those.
Well, you got to pick. There's not many options
I don't have
past
to
that.
pick.
I mean, the
America.
That means surprise him.
Well, then we'll force it upon you then and do a C-section. We'll play live. What do you want to open with? What do you want to open for the C-section?
Take a little walk, slow drink.
If it's a C-section, you got to start with Jaws.
You want to find someone, C-section them, and then play that?
We're running out of time for Derek's story.
I don't have a story. There's no point in telling a story after it's
Derek
something
was
horrible
telling me about
like
his
that.
story before the podcast, and it was a really good story.
It wasn't anywhere near as good as that.
really good. He was really compelling.
We got
He's
duped
going to
into-
tell it any second.
We
now.
got duped into playing in Sea Caucus at like 1 o'clock in the morning. They said it would be a fantastic thing. It was at a juice bar. Nobody was there. Not even the juicers. It was horrible. That's it. That's the story. That's nowhere comparable to what you did.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with him on that.
That's a horrible thing you did.
You just made yours shorter, so it sounds like it wasn't as bad.
No, it felt bad. It felt bad. But that's horrible, man.
Thank you.
I really feel for you.
I appreciate that you're being so sympathetic about it.
You know, what's cool is he's still here to talk about it.
I think there's a number you can call. If you need, like,
Specifically for that.
yeah, there's like a whole service for like, hey,
Do you have trauma related to being a musician at a funeral?
yeah.
No, I don't think there's a service for that.
It
Wow.
goes to only your own voicemail.
I set it up and I don't even remember it anymore.
All right, so let's switch this. All right, we'll go around to the best shows.
Well, wait a minute. We might have one more good one here. Hold on. I like the worst ones.
That's true. They normally are the best ones.
They are the best ones.
I guess
One
this.
word.
Oh, it's something about cutting your nose off.
I guess this makes for a good segue because the worst ones are the best ones.
That's true.
I mean,
You'll
ultimately,
learn from them.
ultimately, what is all of this about? What is our time here about? It's about experience. It's about memories. And if you're crafting an experience via the worst memory, then it becomes by merit the best experience you've had. Yeah, I needed to get reconstructive surgery when I tried pulling a Ben Wyman from Dillinger Escape Plan aerial stunt with a BC Rich Warlock during the second song of a set. And yeah, someone from the front row just walked up to me and just ran his finger down my face and showed it to me. I thought I was sweating. No, it was a lot of blood. It was a lot of blood. We finished the set, of course, you know, because the show must go on.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. That was the fun part was when everybody in the crowd was like, that blood looks so fake. Like, dick, fake blood doesn't dry brown.
Yeah, no.
No, I still have the business card of the reconstructive surgeon that sewed my nose back on. Christopher Godek in Red Bank. No, I'd actually sewn up a couple other wounds I'd had. I was headbanging on a cymbal and split the bridge of my nose open. So I had to go home and give myself 3 stitches on the bridge of my nose. And he spotted that. I guess when you're a plastic surgeon, you get an eye for scars, you know? And I had another one. I got slashed in a mosh pit in the downtown Toms River, New Jersey hardcore skate park. It was... it's on the border of Toms River and South Toms River. There's a skate park down there.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a bunch of white supremacists there, and they didn't really take kindly to a biracial metalhead headbanging in the middle of their
Where the
hardcore
fuck do I
mosh pit.
live?
You live here. You live like 4 miles from
Yeah, I
there.
guess so. That's downtown Tom's River. I don't ever go down there. Anyway.
No, I mean, there's the one show in Woodbury Heights, I think it was, where I had a migraine and threw up on stage behind my amp into a bucket while I was soloing. That wasn't the most fun experience. We played with Overkill in Cleveland, I think it was, and I had a migraine for that show and spent the whole night in the back seat. But no, I mean, unless it's a great show. I mean, honestly, you know what the worst shows were? The ones you don't remember.
Okay.
But that's worse for you, but that could have been a make or break night for someone that was in the audience.
Yeah.
You know? Like someone's worst show could have been the best night of someone else's life.
True.
So whose worst show was it? No, I don't have a worst show.
Awesome. Well, that's a good way to look at it. What's your best show then?
Same ones.
That's probably That's perfect. Next.
Yeah, I guess that's true. The best ones, it's kind of like, well, yeah, I enjoyed myself. Anytime when I enjoyed myself. I mean,
You also sometimes just as a musician, you
Yeah.
have the shows where you walk off or you get off stage and you're just like, fuck, that felt good.
yeah. One time we played with my older band. We played at Starland one time with it was damn, who was it? We played with remind me. Got big on MySpace. My Children, My Bride, and there was another one. Damn it. Gary's going to listen to this and be like, Derek, how could you forget that? But I totally forget now.
We're intentionally not helping just to leave you hanging.
Yeah, that's fine. But anyway, we played there, and I dislocated my jaw right before our set.
What?
And I had to, I couldn't close my jaw unless I was in immense pain. It was like this. And I had to,
Wait. How'd you dislocate your jaw? Is this how you got the gig?
funny story.
So there it was sitting on my knees now.
20 minutes before. No. It was Suicide Silence, by the way. It was the big band.
Oh shit.
But,
Burge can suck a golf ball through a garden hose.
yeah.
He could
You'd be
start a leaf
surprised.
blower.
So anyway, yeah, dislocated my jaw. Had to play like this. Drool and shit coming out. Hospital afterwards. Couldn't hang out afterwards. Immediately left. That was probably the worst, actually, now that I think about it. But it's also kind of the best because it's a really cool story because every picture of me is like this. I look like I'm totally so much pain. But yeah, anytime you enjoy yourself, I guess, is kind of like the best show because it's all about being there live and then it's done and then you drive home and you're like, fuck, that was great.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a little moment in time where you're just like free.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
then you wake up the next day and you mow the fucking lawn. So
Yeah, and it's like, damn, you know what, like headache and shit. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, how about you, Kyle?
Oh, you got to have a good one.
I really liked that
Well,
one.
I think anything's better than that.
The day after the funeral when I wasn't there anymore.
We played I sat in my room by myself. It was the greatest thing ever.
I played a show next to an alive person.
Played Rock Band this one time. No, I think the show at Donovan's was really cool. It was cool how we didn't use the mics and the crowd kind of started off sitting where they were and started to move towards us as time went on. And it was just it was nice to have that feedback. I think that's the biggest thing with playing live shows is having that feedback.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing with online is sometimes even if somebody really likes it, they're not going to necessarily engage with it or like give you anything or any information about it. It's just that they watched it and they liked it and they're going to move on to the next thing that they want to watch and that they like. But if they're physically there, like you can see them enjoying it or not enjoying it and going to hang out with their friends in the parking lot or whatever.
Yeah, dude, definitely.
Plus, if I see someone in the crowd who's liking it, I will literally walk right up to you and just sing for you.
Like a safari.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I do have a best show story. I'm sorry. The best show that I've ever played is one I don't remember. April 15th, 2005. It's the day I met my girlfriend, who's more than that. And there's actually a picture of it that she has on her desk of me and Tom and all of us the day we all met.
There you go. That's cool.
That's my favorite show.
That's awesome.
My best show of all time is one I have no recollection of.
Why? Why do you not recollect the show?
Probably because it sucked. I don't know.
I guess that goes back to the worst shows.
Yeah.
So they're one and the same.
Plot twist. My worst show was a best show. Where the fuck was it? Bloomfield Ave?
Sounds right.
Sure.
It
That's
is.
another thing with this project too. Like, it's extremely laid back. If,
The best thing, yeah.
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 Because, I mean, again, if someone can't even make a gig, if someone can't make it, oh no, our songs are piano, classical guitar, and vocals. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Seriously, again, by design, just the minimalism of it. So if sometimes Krieger can't make it, sometimes Verge can't make it, and it's just like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
Do your
you can
thing.
You can do it without him.
No, I don't want this thing to be pressure. I don't want any part of this to be hanging over anyone's head.
Oh no. Because then it's not fun anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's probably one of the most liberating things about this is it's like I don't feel at all like pressured like, oh, there's so much weight, like if I can't go, it's just like, oh, yo guys, dad duty tonight. And it's like, okay, cool.
Sweet.
And we all like live close. So we do.
All right. Well, for our last question, I'm gonna want an answer from each one of you. If you could change one thing about the New Jersey Shore music scene, what would it be, and why? One thing, just one thing.
That is a deep question.
We get that
Matt.
all the time.
Tom, you want to get in on this or no?
He's got to answer this one too.
That is an incredibly
I see it
wildly
turning.
deep
One, because
question.
there's a million things that everybody
yeah.
wants to change. But if you had to pick one thing to change, what would it be and why? We've gotten like some crazy answers so far.
We're gonna draw this question out to keep you guys here.
Who wants to go first?
I have an answer for this. Alright, so I had my first busking experience the other night in Red Bank. So, you know what busking is?
No.
Yes.
It's,
I have no
it's
idea.
playing music publicly on the street, on the sidewalk.
Okay.
So, if it were up to me, busking would be allowed in every downtown area in
Okay.
New Jersey. So, anybody could just set up on a street corner, play, make music, do what they want.
Mm-hmm.
And, the cops can't tell you to stop.
Why do they tell you to stop?
Yeah.
If there's an ordinance,
Okay.
Some-
in that
yeah, some
town where
towns
it's not
have
allowed,
ordinances
they'll
against
tell
it,
you
and
to
they
stop.
can-
You
yeah.
can't play here.
Okay.
You got to move on. But in Red Bank, it's allowed, so you can just walk around, set up and play, and it was a lot of fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Good
kinda
answer.
Cool.
I
Yeah.
like
So
that.
I think that would be cool just to have every, like Asbury Park's a real cool town now. It's
Mm-hmm.
all done up and they fixed it all up nice, but you can't play. So it'd be really cool if anybody could just go to any of those downtown areas and set up and just play their music. I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
This is what I love about this question is because the answers are just like so all over the place. Like, and you could see like he had that like instantly.
Yeah. Very good.
What would your answer have been if it weren't for the other night?
If it weren't for that, I don't know. I have to think about it for a lot longer.
That moment really struck you, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I was gonna continue the conversation, but it's okay.
Anybody else?
I'm still thinking. There's a couple things, but I have to pick one.
Oh, you gotta pick one.
I got to pick one.
That's
That's what makes it tough. Because I could rattle off like 30 right off the bat.
Yeah, oh, dude,
But picking the
definitely.
one,
One.
He's thinking of ways to engineer a tiny piano so he can go busking with us.
it's called an accordion.
Oh, dude. Oh, that's a total workout.
Dude, less skinheads beating the shit out of people would be cool. Because me and Mark have both been beaten up by skinheads at shows.
I've never experienced that.
He was stabbed.
What?
There's a slash, but it was real deep.
Wow.
I got punched repeatedly. A couple of times. So if there could be less of that, I guess that'd be cool. If people wouldn't.
get beat up by white supremacists. Look how pasty you are.
I don't know.
Yeah, what did they have
The
against
first-
you?
The first time I didn't see it, and the second time was because Float Face Down said everybody, and I feel like I can say this word because I've been called it so many times, but they were like, everybody beat up one of these faggots. And I was looking around, I was like, man, somebody's going to get hurt. One of these kids are going to get punched in the face. And then I got punched in the face.
Well, they're skinheads and you have too much hair on your head, so there's a
I guess
reason
so.
right
At the time, I had multicolored hair, and I guess it didn't sit well. And the other time, I didn't see who did it. I just apparently got beat up by multiple humans and had no idea, and then afterwards was told about it.
This
So
guy's
that was
deep
fun.
in thought right now.
Very deep in thought. I'm trying to think of the most beneficial thing. Mark, do you want to go?
It's like, no.
Sure. Do I?
I think I've arrived at my answer. Yeah, I think I have. I think
He's like, buy me some time, guy. Buy me some time.
I really truly think this, and I think Ocean County, specifically Ocean County, needs a true venue. A true venue caliber of something like House of Independence or better or more or bigger than that, because there's really nothing here.
Well,
There's
there
really
used to be.
There used to be, but there's not.
Yeah, I mean, a hurricane took one of them out.
Yeah.
And the town shut down another one of them. So
Yeah.
but there used to be.
I think it truly needs to exist here. That's probably the single most beneficial thing that I think would
pickup for everyone. You know what I mean?
No, that's a good answer.
Has anyone said that yet?
No.
No.
Really?
No.
Ben, who has been working on the other show,
Right.
he used to work at a Brighton bar. That was his main place, but they closed down, which just breaks the heart. That was such a cool place. I love Brighton Bar. The Brighton Bar was like one of my favorite venues of all time, and I don't mean it was my favorite venue. It was like one of my favorite venues of all time. My favorite kind of venue is the one that when you're inside of it, you can't tell if it's 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. The walls are black, the windows are covered in stickers, and it doesn't matter what time it is. And the Brighton Bar was like that. The Saint is like that. The basement of the Burnt Tavern in New Brunswick was like that. But anyway, Ben is trying to acquire a new venue.
I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was sending him all sorts of links of available properties in Toms River.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a ShopRite. There's a vacant ShopRite on Fisher Boulevard, which is where we are right now.
Food Town.
It was
Yeah,
the Food Town. Is it
Food
Food
Town.
Town?
Yeah.
That's an
Right up
available
over there,
lot.
yeah.
So I gave him a link to that. It's been vacant for a while, right?
Quite a
Long
few
time.
years.
Yeah. So I sent it to the dude who used to book at a Brighton bar.
Yeah,
And
it'd be perfect. I
how
mean,
sick would that be? Yeah. So
Well, they kind of
Yeah.
made a home at the Jackson Elks, right?
say what now?
With the cavern.
No
I think
clue.
that's what they're calling it.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, I believe it's the Jackson Elks. They've been doing a bunch of shows out there. And I believe a bunch of the guys with the Brighton are all connected with that.
Yeah.
Jackson? Jackson.
I mean, there's the Rataco Center, but like a true,
That's more of a sports arena.
yeah, like
Seriously, dude.
there's a true venue missing from Ocean County's
Yeah,
area.
well, from here you're going down by like either like Atlantic City or
Yeah.
Asbury Park.
Asbury Park, and I think it would serve Ocean County well, somewhere in Toms River ish.
Now, what defines a true venue?
yeah, I mean, that was
Like,
going to be another question.
Yeah, so
like
something
you
with
said,
the
like-
something with the capabilities in parking that rivals something like a Stone Pony.
the green room in Seaside.
That's what used to be.
Yeah. But now,
Fully set up for shows. Parking right there. The big Seaside Park parking lot.
where are we right now, though? There's no.
Is there no green room in Seaside Park anymore?
Well, is there no because there's no demand for it? At least maybe in Seaside or this town.
I think there's a lot of demand. I think there's a lot of demand now. I think because people haven't gone to things in a while. I think there's so much demand, even for outdoor things. I think people just want to do things again and see people again. And we're still in the process of having people open up and see other people again. And I'm optimistic that that's going to be a big part of coming back to normality. Is things like shows of any kind or any sort of event. You know, I mean, this year alone, weddings even have been off the hook. We've gone to weddings on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays. I have like 3 more this year. It's nuts.
They're all playing catch up.
Yeah, everyone's
You know.
playing catch up, and I think there's a lot of pent up demand.
The
for
biggest
that.
fight for that's going to be people. Because
Yeah.
people love to complain. Like it's going to wherever they would put it, it'll cause traffic. It'll have people wandering about, and then there'll be drug. Oh, there's drugs there, and that's going to be
Oh,
the biggest
dude,
thing to
totally,
combat
yeah.
the Karens
Yeah.
of the nation.
Yeah, I just think, you know what? Like, there's no true thing going today, right now.
I agree. Yeah, it would be great.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it would be great.
But it's my 2 cents.
Oh, wait, my thing that I would change about the...
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right.
we
Yeah,
never got to you, did we?
What was the question?
What would you change and why?
What would I change and why? I thought about this. Not a lot, because I was listening to everybody else's stories. I'm not a good listener. Oh, I am a good listener. That's the problem. Gratitude.
Yeah.
We're surrounded by so much art, and people don't show up for it. The kind of things that people would die for in other parts of the world. We've got it around us. Singers, guitarists, musicians. To us, they're annoying. But
in today's day and age, we're in the age of people go see the one band they went to go see, and then right back out the door. No one goes to see a show anymore and just appreciate
Yeah.
the music.
support local music. It's a cliche statement, but it's necessary. It shouldn't be some just some tired idiom. It should be a call to arms. And people don't have that in them. They don't go out. They don't appreciate the things that they have. We would play shows back in the day. We would play a show in Manahawkin and say the fans would write to us and say, "Let me know when you're playing in Waretown." You kidding me? Are you kidding me? How many times have any of us driven states away to see music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a level of gratitude and appreciation that isn't there. And I don't mean that in some way that like I'm thirsty. I don't care if it's us. It doesn't have to be us. It has to be
I think
anything.
we live in such a world where everybody's always in such a rush.
Yeah, everything.
Like they don't have time to slow down to appreciate it. They're just going to do that favor, going to see that friend's band, and then they're like, "Oh, gotta go," and right out the door.
Did you see that video? That's exactly what I'm talking about. The video of the famous violinist that's playing in the New York subway. He's one of the best violinists in the world. And they set up an experiment, some kind of social experiment, to see who would stop to watch this virtuoso. Almost no one. So the question is whether or not that's because of us or because of there's not much put towards the arts. We don't know. I mean, everybody knows who the big quarterback is, but no one knows who the fucking first chair violinist or the.
See, I feel like probably since 2000 and I don't know 8, 10, like music has been not a priority. It's in everyday life. It's a priority to us as musicians and artists. But the guy that's going to work 9 to 5, music's on the radio. Even if they might not listen to the radio. I know people that just drive home in silence just to decompress. So,
you know what it might be? I'm sorry to cut you
no,
off.
no, that's fine. It's just
a torrent of content. There's a glut of availability out there. You can only see and watch and listen to so much.
Mm-hmm.
So I notice when people have a lot of choices, like now we're in the streaming age, right? Where Spotify, Apple Music, things
Anybody
like
with
that
a
are
laptop
popular.
can put an album out.
yeah.
Now you have so many choices at all times. The park is open 24/7. There's so many people that go through a song, play halfway, go to another act, play halfway, go to another one, go to another one, and then ping, ping, ping. It's like the Netflix 24/7.
One thing that I'm sorry, go on.
No, it's all good. When you're surrounded with choices, like people don't stick to one thing. They don't take the time to really, I guess, dive into something.
Well,
It's harder for people to find.
The attention span's
Yeah,
gone, you know,
it's totally gone.
Nobody sits
Now,
down and listens to an
That goes
album.
back
Yeah.
to his question, though.
Yeah.
Is like, is it us or is it them?
I think it's
Are
just
we
a-
not writing good enough to entertain them, or
it's a
is
product
it?
of
I think it's a
society,
product of
you know?
society now
Yeah.
because I'm guilty of it too, and I say that. You know,
Me
like
too.
I go through Spotify. My buddy tried to show me this band. I listened 30 seconds. Oh, great! These guys are awesome. Sweet. Off or like switch to the next thing. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you know what? I haven't heard these guys in a while. Click. And then it says artists you may like. Oh wow, what about this one? And then you're lost in the
Yeah.
side panels and the ads and the this and
Yep.
you just all the colors and flashy lights and you know it's always getting your attention. So
That is exactly why.
Maybe that's your one thing to change. Get rid of that. Focus in on things.
yeah, there's plenty of great venues. That's what I'm talking about. Focus.
Focus.
I would remove all streaming. No. Maybe I don't know.
Dude, that's my point, though. Everybody is just so wrapped up in having everything available that when we play, when you hear instruments live right in front of you, when you hear human voices live right in front of you, that is a primal experience. And that is something that is lacking from so many people's lives. It breaks my heart to see how many people don't draw, don't paint, don't play anything. Play a fucking bongo. Bring something into your life. One thing that makes me happy about this, it shouldn't make me happy. So I played some of these songs, our songs, for my sister, and took her a second to realize. She was like, "Is this you guys?" Because she didn't hear us before, and I was like, "Yeah, actually." She's like, "What would you classify this as?" I was like, there is a genre called pagan folk, but we're not quite that. There's another genre called post-rock, but we're not quite that. And I didn't have an answer for her.
It's a melting pot.
It is. It's tricky. So my girlfriend was
maybe
looking
it
it up.
doesn't need to be defined, though. You know, I mean,
I agree.
I hate
apparently-
that. Like when you said like post rock, I don't even know what post rock is.
Right.
Like
There's a
that's-
million things. There's a million things.
or post alternative or whatever else they post or pre or whatever. I think that's dumb. It's fucking rock music, metal, pop, country, classical, blues, jazz. All right, you're going to fit somewhere in there. Why do we have to put all this shit in
Why do
between
we
it?
need infinite subgenres?
Yeah,
Yes.
we don't need that.
No, you distill it down and you're one of those 5 things you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my girlfriend was looking it up, and apparently there is a genre called neo-folk. And I was like, we're not really neo. In fact, we're the opposite. I don't even know what neo is.
Yeah.
And she's like, actually, it has another name too. Post-apocalyptic folk. And I was like, I'm not mad at that.
I don't hate that.
That's pretty fucking cool, actually.
I didn't like these labels until you gave me the cool one.
Like, this sucks. Bullshit. Whoa, that's kind of cool. Wait a minute. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
I'm
stop.
oddly okay with it now.
And I think about that all the time. I think about the fact that we don't need anything. And when the end of the world comes, we'll still be playing along. We'll be one of the only bands left playing.
I hope so.
When the end comes, we'll still be making music.
Because of the not needing electronics thing.
Playing in a burnt tavern.
We already got the practice of playing by somebody in the end, so I mean,
Oh my god.
See, it's cyclical. It comes back around.
Oh my god.
Just got a little dark in here.
It's a real dark for
turn
a
the
while.
light on. But no, it was that was a pleasure. I like the different take. It's more artistic. It's not about money. It's not about fame. It's not about perfection. It's about being artist, being soil of the earth. Walk a day in my shoes and come with me type shit. So
100%.
I thought it was really cool.
We live in a world where a lot of people that make music nowadays, they don't make music that they want to play. They're trying to make music that people want to hear. They think people want to hear.
Yeah.
That's so wrong.
Yeah,
That's so wrong.
Don't worry, they're failing miserably at that anyway.
Well,
so
that's a totally different topic, but that's where it is, and it's nice to have people that are you're in it 100% for the music, and that's it.
They're denying who they are. They are something. They want something. But they've convinced themselves, or something else has convinced them that they want something else, that they're here for something else. You're here for money. You're here for clicks. You're here for likes. No. You never grew up wanting that. You never grew up thinking that you were going to be selling yourself online for some dollar amount. No. You wanted something else, and you've forgotten
Like I was saying when we
completely.
first started here, just with this, me and him, we've been playing in bands for forever, and we've been playing together for about 10 years now, maybe a little more, and just doing the podcast and just sitting down and talking to other people and just talking about music. It's such a breath of fresh air for us. It's so nice.
Exactly. We need this in our lives. We need art
Yeah.
in our lives. We need connection in our lives. And the more digital things get, the more distance things get. It's denying the nature of Homo sapiens. It's not right. It's not right. It's our downfall, frankly. And we're hoping to counterbalance that.
yeah, I hope you guys do it. You guys are doing a great job so far. So get out there and show the world.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
We've
thank
got
you.
such a
Thank you
cool
for coming.
place.
We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
All right, and now a word from our sponsors.
The power of Sticker Jesus compels you. Full color, waterproof, and UV resistant decals printed for your art, business, club, or anything you want to promote.
Read louder.
I'm scared. DM his ass holiness on Instagram at StuckUpStickerCompany or email him at StuckUpStickerCompany@gmail.com to start your order today. Remember, StuckUp is your source for signs, stickers, banners, and way more! Exclamation point.
Does that say .com?
It does. I scribbled it out though. See, I wrote it different this time.
Not anymore, it doesn't. He crossed it out with pen, and clearly it says .com. You're an asshole.
But yes, if you get in touch with Ian over at the Stuck Up Sticker Company and you tell him you heard about it on the Jersey Shore Musicians podcast, he will give you 10% off your first order.
That's really nice of him.
It is. It is. He's a good guy. He's my bass player. I kind of like him.
Sticker Jesus is your bass player?
Yes, Sticker Jesus is my bass player. Yes.
Really?
He's in the Almighty Useless.
Fantastic.
Oh, shit. We could use stickers are fun.
He
Let's
can do
vandalize.
he can do stage banners. He can do stickers. He can anything you need. He can print it up. He's a good guy.
They could be full color, waterproof, and UV resistant decals.
See, he can read.
So you can vandalize. That's great.
Yeah. So your bass player is going to be an accessory to vandalism.
That's all right.
That's all good.
You've obviously never seen a Useless show. We have, I'm not even lying to you, we have like 400 different stickers. Like, he just makes the most absurd things, and we just pass them out to everyone.
Well, I mean, if he makes stickers and he doesn't make stickers, that's pretty weak. No. He should be making
Well, no, we have the most ridiculous stickers in the game. We definitely do. All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for having us, guys. Seriously.
Awesome. And we're going to get these guys in the other room for an acoustic performance, and enjoy.
All right.
Broken glass, rusted nails, where the wild violets grow. Say goodbye to the railroad, the mad dogs of summer, and everything that I know. Some men do it for diamonds, some men do it for gold. Wounded, but they just keep on climbing and sleep by the side of the road. There's a hole in the ladder, a fence we can climb. Mad as a hatter, you're thin as a dime. Go out to the meadow, the hills are green. Sing me a rainbow, steal me a dream. Small-time Napoleon shattered his knees, but he stays in the saddle for Rose. And all his disciples, they shave in the gutter, and they gather what's left of his clothes. Some men do it for diamonds, some men do it for gold. Wounded, but they just keep on climbing, sleep by the side of the road. Oh, na, 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 Let's see how much noise we can make. Bless me, Maker, I've done wrong. I know where I belong, far below with all the rest. But I've one last request. Guide me to that golden glade where gentle rivers glow. Take my crown, plunge it down, fill me with its flow. If I'm the tide, drown me in honey and sunshine. Tell which the worst, can I taste heaven first? If it's my time, please drown me in honey and sunshine. God, let it be the last thing I see. Good deeds won't wash out the stains, the scars always remain. Shot, stab, beat, hang, final fall. Rest assured I deserve them all. Burned alive, a high-rise dive, encased in glass for days. Poison wine, a falling vine. There's just so many ways. If I'm to die, drown me in honey and sun. place. Death can come with any face. I'd only be at peace if it was you. If I'm to die, drown me in honey and sunshine. Hell awaits the worst. Can I taste heaven first? If it's my time, please drown me in honey and sunshine. God, let it be the last thing I Brendan! If I'm to die, please drown me in honey and sunshine. Hell awaits the worst. Can I taste heaven first? If it's my time, please drown me in honey and sunshine. God, let it be the last thing I see. It's a good time to drop my pick. Where were you when it all came crashing down? You were there, watching everybody drown. This time I took these fates into these hands. Take it in while it's all above the sands. You were supposed to be the best of them. I gave you one you wanted to. Everything dries up that your hands touch. What am I to do? I'll build a fire and burn it all away. Smoke rise high, tell them we're on our way. Treat the world like you're the only ones. Wildfires
We're available for birthday parties and bar mitzvahs.
And we will see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yes, sir.
Right on.
And we'll hope Jeff actually makes it.
Well, 3 in a row, man. I could do it.
Wow.
I could do it.
Don't say it now. You're going to ruin it.
Well, if I'm not here, you'll just fuck it up again, so. Bye.